Well, hello everybody. Nice to be able to touch base with you on this fine Tuesday. I don't know if you've ever had, I don't know, call it serendipity, law of attraction. You think about something and then it starts to manifest itself or pop into your life a little bit. I've got a great example for you. Recently, someone had brought up an old show that they used to watch in college called Dawson's Creek, and it made me think about James Van Der Beek, who was one of the main characters. I never think about James Van Der Beek, and so I'm driving down the road 2 days later and see this massive, I don't know, 10-story billboard with a show that James Van Der Beek is in about him being a DJ, and I hadn't seen him in anything. Do you have stuff like that that happens to you occasionally where you'll think about something and randomly it pops into your head? The reason I bring this up is I had a friend tell me that they love, hey Andrea, I did just get your message about condos and we will talk about that. Freddie, thanks for joining, my friend. Chris, you too. So this idea of law of attraction, someone had told me they love horror movies. I'm not a big horror movie guy. I don't watch a lot of them, if ever. But we were talking about horror movies and then comedies, which made me think about Scary Movie. Which brings us to today, which we're looking at the home, a $16 million home off of Elm Street in Beverly Hills that is owned by the producer of Scary Movie. So how crazy is that? The law of attraction continues. So, hey Jeremy, thanks for jumping in. So we're starting off for this home here in Beverly Hills that is owned by the producer of Scary Movie. His name is Erik Gold. And we're starting in his backyard, his sport court. Hey Gary. So this is the sport court with these really tall green space that allows for privacy in this little backyard, but we'll get to see the rest of it. Now, the house itself is, hey Jerusalem, is a little over $16 million in the Beverly Hills Flats, so it's about a half-acre lot, give or take, and a gorgeous house, kind of an English colonial style built in the 1920s, but yet fully renovated. So let's take a look at the rest of the house. Here is the backyard from the sport court, and we're looking at an 8-bed, 11-bath, over 11,000 square foot home. Kind of a cool English estate. And right to the left of me is the guest house next to the pool. You get a little shot, great slate roof, really sticking with kind of the traditional theme. And this is all, again, in the flats, you get bigger backyards, which I have a tendency to share with most weeks that we're walking through the flats. You can see a little grill barbecue area, the guest house, the rest of the backyard, and the house itself, like I said, kind of a English colonial, matching with the consistency of the pool slash guest house. Guest house is overly large at 2 stories. Get an angle here, and lots of greenery, so it's really cool, kind of garden-esque. Now, every time that I try and pop into a lower level of a house, I have a tendency, hey Tara and Julie, I have a tendency to lose reception, so we won't get to see some really cool spaces, like the wet bar, and maybe not the billiard room, and maybe not the wine cellar, which are all probably pretty awesome. So I'll see if I can snap some video. If you want to see them, just share some comments below and I will share them below. But we'll get to see the rest of the main layout of this house. Again, we're off of Elm Street, which is a cool block in the Beverly Hills Flats for a home that is a little over $16 million. So let's go take a look at the inside. Cool fountain and water feature. We saw the guest house already. Hi there. And we'll walk right in and see the kind of one formal dining space of a couple. It's right as in walking off of the back and into the main kitchen area. You can see is really spacious. And we'll skip the back hall and go through kind of the more ornate and gorgeous front entrance. Hey Chris, I was just talking about you. I left a message for Rosalind. I owe you a phone call. Okay. We are back, and just in case so we don't lose reception, I wanted to share with you the master so you could see it. Get an idea of that backlit space, the grandioseness of this room. You can see that it is a little drapered shut, but get really good natural light. We saw the pool already from the exterior. So hey Scott, a bit of a private elegance from the master. And take a look at, this is just the master bath. And I shouldn't say just, because it's pretty awesome. I mean, the room itself is probably 20 feet by 25 feet, so it's huge. And again, very private, nice with the backlit. Feels like a hotel space. And look at some of this extra work that has been done with some of the finishes. This is still all of the master, so you've got dual closet space, kind of a his and hers. So his with the darker woods, rich in colors. And then hers with the extra island space, the sitting couch, and lots of closet. Okay, let's go. Hey, Jennifer. Let's go, pardon me. Let's go take a look at the front entranceway. Hey, Brooke, how are you? So we probably skipped or missed some of the kitchen when I had lost some reception. So let's go take a look at the front, because I know that's what you want to see as well. You get a rough idea. I'm going to turn around from the front, so you get a rough idea of being able to see what the flooring is like through the front entryway. Hey, Matthew. Thanks for the call earlier. We played some phone tag. So take a look at this pretty awesome entryway. Circular, even though there is off-street parking, but you still have this really ornate kind of front finish. So as we walk into this kind of gated, a little bit more private community, you can get an idea of what the neighbors' homes are like as well. The trees, how gorgeous this street is, and then the home itself, which, as I mentioned, built in the 20s, 16.5 million, gorgeous, and all updated. So homes like this, as I had mentioned, when you hit this price point, or you have a kind of celebrity status, again, this home, hey Bonnie, this home is owned by the producers of Scary Movie 1 and 2, amongst many other things. And so it's generally, they market quite a bit differently than they would with a traditional home. And here in Beverly Hills, the average price point of home is around $3.5 million. So this one's quite a bit more expensive. Again, here's what the street looks like. So you can see many of the homes on the street are very impressive, from the gates to the finish level to all of the different designs. You get a rough idea of what the neighborhood is like, and this is the home that's on market. So when you have homes like this, they use a very different marketing tactic. And there are things that celebrities will do, or individuals that want to be either a little bit more confidential, a little bit more exclusive, or even a little bit more global with the way that they market. Some of these homes, when they hit 10, 20, $50 million, have a different level of marketing that is much more global, international or national in the way that it is done. So the reason that I share that is we have put together this really fantastic guide to be able to show you some of the differences of what it would be like to sell like a celebrity. And so I'm going to include a link below that I would invite you to visit at any point if you want this free guide on how to sell like a celebrity and what are the differences. No matter what your home price is, be it $50,000 or $50 million, there are things that you can take from that guide. Hey Tyler, good to see you. You have to tell me how Alaska was. That you'll be able to get from this guide that I think will be really applicable if you ever decide to sell, and great for you to know if you're ever thinking about buying a house, because you'll be able to see what it is that sellers use as marketing tactics. Hey Allison. So with all of these, like I said, I'm going to include the link below, but the link is really easy. It is selllikeaceleb.com. realtor.com. And I'm going to include that, like I said, as a comment below. But share with me what you think. We've talked about a number of things, from cool houses that are English in style and over $16 million. We've talked about Beverly Hills. We've talked about the law of attraction. So many things, and I would love your feedback and comments. So share this with anyone else that you think would love to jump in on the conversation. Comment below. Always great to hear from you. As is always, great to be able to see you here in Beverly Hills, and we will talk to you again soon. Bye-bye.